So Bradford City have today confirmed that Chisma Foka has returned to parent club Aston Villa from his season-long loan. It sounds like he was sent back rather than recalled by the Premier League outfit. And in today's video, I'll be bringing you guys my thoughts and opinions on this news. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could, trying to 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. We've also got some further departures or potential departures to talk about as well later on in today's video. If you're wondering where the 6 things that we learned from New Year's Day's 1-0 defeat against Crewe, it was meant to come out last night, but the darts was on, and then it was meant to come out today, and the Chisma Foka news has officially come out. So we've got a focus video today publicly, and then the 6 things we learned video will be out for tier 3 channel members later on tonight, so make sure to stay tuned for that, and go check out the channel membership scheme as well if you haven't already. Make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it. Now obviously Chisma Foka was, I think, our first deadline day signing back in the summer. We started out the season playing the 3-1-4-2 system under Mike Hughes that we're currently playing now under Graham Alexander. He decided though after 4, 5, 6 matches in all competitions that it wasn't really going to work and we needed to get a number of wingers in. It seemed like this one was a little bit of a panic signing, but you look at a young winger coming in on loan from Aston Villa. We saw what happened with Tyreek Wright last season. Chisma Foka didn't quite work out for him, and it was confirmed today at 12 PM when Bradford City tweeted saying Chisma Foka has returned to parent club Aston Villa. Thank you for your efforts and all the best, Chiz. The article does then read, a Foka returns to Villa. Chisma Foka has returned to parent club Aston Villa. The 20-year-old forward joined the Bantams on loan in the summer and made 5 appearances for the club. Bradford City AFC would like to take this opportunity to thank Chisholm for his efforts in Claret and Amber and wish him the best for the future. Now, there was no tweet or some sort of article from either Aston Villa or their academy on social media, but Foka, judging by the wording of the article, it sounds like it's been more Bradford City decision rather than a decision made by Aston Villa. But I think it's the best for all parties, really. I'm pretty sure this was his first loan away from the football club, and it hasn't really worked out. He got a few opportunities at the start under Mark Hughes. He got the odd opportunity under Kevin McDonald as well when he was in his temporary caretaker player manager role, but he hasn't had a single second of football under Graham Alexander, and it just makes sense really for all parties. I think naturally he's a left winger. I think we actually used him more as a striker, and he failed to impress really in a number of games that he played. He looked a little bit lazy as well. He wasn't really putting in the hard work, and you can clearly see why he didn't really get another opportunity after his couple of EFL Trophy games where he just not really impress. And if you have a look at his actual statistics from his time at Bradford City, he only managed the 2 league appearances for the football club and just the 1 start, averaging 49 minutes per game in the league. In terms of every match that he featured in throughout his time at Bradford City, he was on the bench for our 0-0 draw away at Mansfield, didn't come on. He then came on with around 10-15 minutes to go in our 1-1 draw at home to Grimsby Town. Looked quite good in that game, affected it quite well, but didn't really do too much. He did enough to warrant a start in the next game against Harrogate in our 1-1 draw there, but didn't really impress all too much. He was then on the bench for our 4-1 win away at Newport County. He then got a start at home to Middlesbrough in the AFL Cup, where he was subbed off at half-time because he was really, really poor. He was on the bench for our 1-0 win at home at 2 Swindon. I believe that was Kevin McDonald's first game in charge. He then actually got a start away at Grimsby in the Football League Trophy, where he didn't really impress too much. The only notable thing that he did there was get kicked really, really hard. Somehow the Grimsby player wasn't sent off, and Emmanuel Sidibe ended up getting sent off. He was then on the bench and failed to come on in our 1-0 win away at AFC Wimbledon, again under Kevin McDonald, and his final appearance for the football club was our 3-0 win at home to Manchester City's under-21s in the Football League Trophy, where he got a 6.3 match rating according to SofaScore. So a really, really underwhelming loan. You never really know what you're going to get with Premier League loanees. Unfortunately, Chisma Foka didn't really work out. I wish him all the best throughout the rest of his career, because I'm sure there's plenty of potential and promise in there. That is why he's still at a Premier League club at the end of the day, or an academy at least, but it didn't work out throughout his time at Bradford City. We've got a massive squad. We needed to get players out the door, so for all parties really, it did make sense. So that's my thoughts on Chisma Foka. He didn't really play enough to give too much of a comment on, but Simon Parker put out an article, I think it actually got tweeted at like 4 o'clock or 3:30 this morning from the TNA Sport, but Simon Parker officially tweeted basically an update on some of the other players as well. Now, this was obviously out before it was confirmed that Chisholm Afoka has gone back to Aston Villa, but in the article it does say Chisholm Afoka and Rayhan Tulloch are both set to return to their parent clubs, which is obviously quite disappointing because I think Tulloch especially has looked pretty decent in the games that he has played, but in this current system it's hard for him to get game time. But for me personally, I think Tulloch would be a better option as a striker than Matt Derbyshire for me. But it also goes on to say it is understood there has been interest shown in Emmanuel Osidibe, which I think is crazy. Any club that is wanting to pay money for Emmanuel Osidibe absolutely accept whatever fee that is. And Sam Stubbs as well is another one who has had some interest shown in him, which is understandable because I think he's more than competent to play at League 2 level, but he can't even find himself to get onto the bench at this moment in time. And it also goes on to say while the likes of Adam Wilson and Harry Chapman have not been included in the squad recently. Graham Alexander says we look to have around 22 outfield players, give or take 1 or 2 either way. 27 is obviously too many at the moment. That is now down to 26 with Chisholm Afoka going back to obviously Aston Villa, but we've got Timmy Odesina returning as well. I'm not too sure specifically off the top of my head when that is, but here is how Bradford City squad is now lining up then. Obviously we had too many wingers before Afoka's departed. Now that we've got rid of him, we're looking a little bit more balanced, but we're not currently playing with wingers, so I still believe that Bobby Poynton might potentially go out on loan. I think he's more than confident to play in that number 8 role in midfield. He played left wing back the other day and didn't look too bad in that role. Adam Wilson I think definitely needs to go out on loan because he's not going to probably kick a football for the rest of the season, so he should go out on loan. Harry Chapman doesn't seem to be able to get a game at this moment in time. There was rumours that he's had some sort of a fallout with Alexander after the match against Accrington Stanley. I'm not really too sure what's gone on there or if that is particularly true. I've just seen that rumour floating around on social media, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him depart on a permanent this month. We expect Rayhan Tulloch to go back to West Brom. Matt Derbyshire should probably move on for me. Osidibe might move on as well in the midfield, and obviously Sam Stubbs could potentially move on as well with the interest that is currently in him. So there is still lots of movement and lots of room for improvement in this squad, in my opinion. I certainly think there'll be maybe 2 or 3 that come in through the door of some real quality. I still think we need a central midfielder with obviously Jamie Walker's current injury, Alex Patterson very injury prone, Osidibe not good enough. We don't really have someone to replace Alex Gilead in that role, so we need another central midfielder for me. I think we could do with another right wing back with obviously Daniel Ugoke. He's going to be out long term with that shoulder injury. I think it makes sense really because we've not really got anyone else who can naturally play in that role. Gilead will obviously do a job there if Halliday picks up some sort of an injury, but Harvey Rowe for me, I don't think Graham Alexander really trusts him. You know, I don't think he's featured in a matchday squad at all so far this season, so I'm not really too sure what's going on with him. But I think if Halliday does pick up a knock, Gilead would then be the next best suggestion to play in that role. But I think the most glaringly obvious position we need to improve in at this moment in time is left wing back. Well, I don't think Lewis Richards is too bad at this level. Liam Ridehalgh nowhere near the standard in my opinion. I think we do need to get a better first choice left back, left wing back in that role, and maybe potentially another goalkeeper. I wouldn't say it's a necessity, but I would still like another goalkeeper in my opinion at this moment in time. But there is how the squad is currently looking. Like I say, we still expect a number of more business to be done with Osidibe, Stubbs and Tulloch potentially departing the football club, and hopefully a few more to go with them as well. But in terms of Chisholm Afoka, obviously a little bit of a shame that it didn't work out. I personally felt like he might have not been too bad as the striker role, but clearly he's not shown enough in training. We've got to trust at Graham Alexander, and it makes sense really to free up some wages and all that sort of stuff. So all the best wishes to Chisholm Afoka, but I'll leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your thoughts on Chisholm Afoka returning to Aston Villa. His season long loan is cut short by the Bantams, and also potential movement with Osidibe, Stubbs and Tulloch as well. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.